Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be diving down into the world of Vechain to specifically take a look at the price action of the VET token. Guys, as we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all of that said, done, and out of the way, let's jump on down into the desktop and take a look at what is going on here with Vechain. Okay guys, so we're going to start things off with our weekly chart like we would normally do, just to kind of give us a bit of an overview, right? So feel free to skip this part if you're already familiar with the weekly outlook and you just want to get into the kind of the here and the now. But basically, bull run started back in March of 2020. Wave 1 was a nice high in August. I think a lot of people can remember what Vechain was doing back in August of 2020. It was all-time highs. It was fantastic. We saw the pullback towards the latter part of the year, and kind of by November we had bottomed out with that, and then we started to see some good traction back to the upside. All-time high was at 28 point something cent. Let me just quickly check that. 27.9 and 20, yeah, so 27.9 cent, so pretty much 28 was the all-time high, and then we started to see a pullback. This pullback was in line with what Bitcoin was doing. Bitcoin pulled back from 65k to 28k. In the case of Vechain here, from 28 cent down to the low area of 5.1. Okay, so some very decent discounts. In fact, it was an 81% drop in value. Now, a lot of people were calling this a bear market, and I can understand why when you see such a significant pullback like this. However, knowing the trend of the bull run in terms of a ABC move, we knew that wave 3 had actually turned it impulsive, and what we were looking for here was a reversal to a point of a fourth wave correction. This then leads into a fifth wave high. Okay, so we know that actually there's an ABC turned 1 through 3 down to a 4 and then into a 5. One of the biggest rules that we had to make sure was adhered to was that wave 4 never went lower than wave 1, and in the case of Vechain, that's exactly what happened. We saw a correction of 81%. Yes, it was very difficult, but was a fantastic buying opportunity considering how heavily oversold we were at the time. This has basically led to a fantastic place to build more of a position on this particular project before we start to push back up to the upside. Then we started to see good traction here in August of 2021, pull back in September, again self-fulfilling prophecy at that point, moving back up again to the all-time high area of Bitcoin back in November. And what we started to see was a decrease. Bitcoin pulled back massively, and here we saw a significant loss of value once again. Okay, but still we are setting these are basically higher lows than we had set previously, right? So we're still on that direction to the upside overall. We haven't actually deviated away from trend all too much. It is very frustrating though, and we can understand kind of what is going on. If we draw a trend line between these lower lows, you can see that we're actually resting on top of our buy zone here, and that buy zone being as low as 4.5 that never came in, and the higher area of 6.9. Okay, so we actually come into this area once, we've actually bounced from it and we stayed above it. Now, in terms of what we actually look for here, in terms of Elliott wave, we have some significant things that are worth noting. Okay, so on this weekly chart alone, we actually have an ABC down, which is quite clear. We have an ABC down that was actually impulsive but never turned impulsive, at least not on the weekly. And then we started to see this good kind of push back to the upside, a big ABC move, right? So here you have your A, you pulled back in September was your B, and then we pushed up again for a C wave. Now the C wave did fall a little bit short and we started to pull back down. Now we're on the way down. We can also acknowledge that there is some interesting things also going on here with an A, a B, and a C inside this weekly chart down, and now we are looking to track with an ABC to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of where we are on the bigger macro view, heavily oversold and looking for a reversal and a push to the upside. Right now we're seeing the first green candle on the weekly chart that we haven't seen for a while, but the week is still early, so we want to see how this one plays out. What we're going to do is we're going to jump down into our daily. One of the biggest things that's for Vechain is this huge Elliott wave triangle forming on our daily chart. Okay, so our expectation is to push up with wave D, pull back for wave E, and then go absolutely insane when we get the breakout of this triangle. This is a pattern that when it plays out massively well. Okay, so the expectation right now on Vechain on our daily chart is to grow the price of Vechain. This is very much in line with the expectation of an ABC wave forming on our weekly chart. When we get to the top of this D wave high, which will be approximately around 16.2 cent, we're going to be crashing hard in a B wave move on our weekly chart, but also taking us down into the confirmation lows of our E wave. This will bring us back down to probably less than 10 cent before we get a huge break to the upside. I imagine lots of selling is going to occur with frustrated retail investors who are unaware of what is going on. So do watch out. There's going to be a huge opportunity at the bottom of wave E, which consequently is the same price as we're probably at right now. We are probably not going to go down lower than this point in time. Okay, so right now it's important that we acknowledge that the stochastic RSI is overbought on our hourly chart. So do expect volatility here, but do not expect it to go down lower than our trend line, which actually would put us at approximately 7.1. Don't expect that to occur, but do expect some volatility here on the smaller time frames whilst we continue this growth to the upside. We are looking for a very big move here, and then a pullback that's going to shock people into what happens next, which is a huge breakout, which is I think going to see us with an impulsive 1 through 5 move. And if I quickly just draw how I would envision this kind of going, a big break to the upside here with wave 1, a pullback for wave 2, big wave 3, pullback for wave 4, completion of wave 5. This will then take us out towards that $1 range. Okay, this is not an hourly view. This is the daily view. This is something that is going to take time to play out. But when it does actually play out on the weekly view like this, is where you start to see some absolutely insane moves to the upside overall. Okay, so watch out for that one. This fifth wave that we're in right now for Vechain is a very big one. It is something that I think people are in a lot of kind of denial about. I don't think people really expect Vechain to hit these kind of levels that we are talking about. But this is data, and this is what the data is suggesting. Okay, so again, whether we choose to believe it or not is completely up to debate, but ultimately the data is suggesting some pretty interesting levels are going to get hit here with Vechain, and there's going to be some volatility inside this move, right? Wave 3 is probably going to be the largest one. There's going to be 2 pullbacks that are going to be shaking out retail investors. Profits will be taken as we go up into the overbought area, back down to oversold to have the continuation of pushing up much higher. So overall, Vechain's daily chart's looking very, very good. So what we're going to do is try to keep this as brief as I can, come into our hourly view and actually see this on an hourly perspective. What's actually going on here? We obviously had the channel that we're in, and we've got the break to the upside, and right now we're actually tracking this this actual ABC move up, and then we're going to look for a reversal, right? So what we actually have here is we have this A, B, and C up. We then obviously have our A, B, C down. We're tracking a very small ABC up right here, ABC up, and what we're going to do is we're going to measure this move right now. We're going to see if we actually have this completed or whether or not we are going to push up any higher before getting the reversal. And right now you can see that we are just short of our expectation of this this move, and we are looking for an 8.2 cent move, but we're actually finding resistance on top of that 786. This is probably the point of reversal. We're going to fall a little bit short on that 786, unable to break through it, so we're going to leave the C wave there, and now we look for an ABC down. Okay, I expect this to be another really small ABC down, but again, Bitcoin is actually leading this one, and Bitcoin is looking like it also requires an ABC to the downside. So again, in line with our expectations there. We're expecting an ABC move before we actually start tracking to the upside. Like I said previously, we're not looking to move past this yellow line, coming in at around that 7.1 to 7.2 cent range. Overall, we actually broke out of this channel. I can delete that off the chart now, and we are looking pretty good on our hourly chart, right? So we come to a high point, expect the reversal, then we go back, pushing back to the upside. We always are alternating. We never move in straight lines. There's a bigger macro piece to be aware of, and right now we actually find ourselves bottoming out here with this continuation, this sideways trade, and then obviously we're looking to come up into this D wave high before we actually come back crashing down into our E wave. So overall, everything's looking pretty good for Vechain. Definitely want to be more patient on, but right now is a really low priced area for Vechain following this pattern. Again, very early still to call it, so we want the D wave confirmation to come in. Once D wave is here, we then could potentially see that E wave completing, and then obviously getting that impulsive move to the upside overall. overall. So guys, this is a nice, a brief update on VeChain. Nothing major has changed other than the fact that we're expecting a bit of a pullback now in line with the rest of the market. You can kind of see it already happening here. So guys, if you have found this brief update on VeChain useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.